Good morning, everyone. Let us continue the same chapter, Geography as a Discipline. We have seen geography, that geography as a discipline, in which we have discussed about the topics like geography as an integrating discipline, as a science of spatial attributes, and why should we study geography. And in which and how can we say that geography is an integrated discipline. We have seen that geography rely on information provided by other sciences to help understand the form and distribution of earth phenomena. This is why geography has been called an integrative science, and it draws the knowledge of many disciplines to understand natural patterns within the earth system. And we have also discussed about why should we study geography. We need to study geography. Geography is a very important subject in which we study about the land and people, about the changes that have taken place throughout the geological period, and then just to know the answers or just to know the answers of the questions like what, where and why, and just to have the few visual sense of the earth's surface. We have discussed these things. Today we will discuss the sorry chapter topic, what is geography. Okay, what is geography? In very simple words, geography is the description of the earth. In other words, geography seeks to describe variation in relief, climate, drainage, vegetation, soil, etc. in different parts of the world. Okay, the word geography has come from where? Do you know that the word geography is the combination of two Greek words? For example, geo meaning the earth, and graphes meaning what? To write or to describe. So we can say geography is the subject or geography is studies about the earth, or it describes about the earth. Literal meaning of geography is to write about the earth, including all that appears upon it. Okay. Now I think you would like to know who has at first coined the word geography. Well, Eratosthenes. Okay, Eratosthenes, he was the scholar from Egypt. Okay, he was in fact a Greek geographer who lived in Alexandria, Egypt, right? And he coined the word geography in which year? In 234 BC. Okay, just to describe the earth. Then the scholar like L.D. Stamp, he also defined geography as the description of the earth as the abode of human beings. Okay, now there are large variations on the surface of the earth. Are you getting me? There are large variations on the earth's surface or on the surface of the earth, and these variations are concerned with both physical and cultural environment. Okay, and as such, study of areal differentiation is one of the primary objectives of geography. Now we have to focus on this word, areal differentiation. If someone asks you, or if a question comes, what do you mean by areal differentiation? Areal differentiation is in fact describes about the physical and the cultural environment, the change that takes place in both physical and the cultural environment, and we study about this in geography. So you can see that the climatic conditions are different, the people are different, the economic activities are different in different parts of the world, and why it is so. So, I mean, what is the reason behind it? We study all these things in geography. So, areal differentiation is one of the important subject matter of geography. So, thus according to Richard Hartshorne, he was also one of the important geographer, and he described geography as geography is concerned with the description and explanation of areal differentiation of the earth's surface. Okay. Now what is this areal difference? I have just now explained you that that areal differentiation, you cannot see everything on the land, the evolution of the land, geomorphology or geology, and then the physical components of the earth, or the biological components, or the cultural components components, all are not same everywhere. So, and this is areal differentiation of variations in the phenomena over the Earth's surface is not only the concern of geography, rather it goes further to study the association with the other factors which cause this variation. I told you that what causes the variation, right? As far as when we discuss about the aerial description of the Earth's surface or aerial differentiation of the Earth's surface, we discuss about the different things or the variations that takes place on the Earth's surface. Variation in terms of the vegetation, in terms of climate, in terms of the evolution of the land, in terms of wildlife. So, these things we discuss about. So, aerial differentiation is one of the important subject matter, and we can see the variations in the soils. On the other hand, we see the variation and we notice the variation in the soils, climates, and then capacity of the farmers to invest in technological inputs, right? Technological inputs available just to the farmers. So, the geography also tries to prove causal relationship between any two phenomena. Okay, with this view in mind, Hettner, a very important geographer, gave his definition like geography studies the differences of phenomena. Yeah, of course, geography studies the differences in phenomena because the phenomena is not same everywhere. Disasters are not same everywhere. The natural phenomena are not same everywhere. There are some reasons, and the reasons, and we discuss the reasons, right? We study the reasons in geography, what causes the variation. So, this is what that the differences in phenomena, and not necessarily the earthquake is taking place everywhere, and that too on the same time. It's not the thing. So, this is what the phenomena casually related in parts of the Earth's surface. Okay, but one very important thing is that it may be noted that the geographical phenomena are not static, isn't it? Geographical phenomena is not static, right? And but highly dynamic and ever changing. I have discussed with you, I just told you in these things when I started this topic, that it's not static or stable, but it keeps on changing, and the phenomena is not same everywhere. This is applicable to both physical and human phenomena, right? So, the change in the physical and human phenomena is the result of interactive processes between ever changing earth and untiring and ever active human beings. Okay. So, geography is thus concerned with the study of nature and human interactions as an integrated whole. So, let me tell you something about this. Don't you agree on this that the nature and human as a subject are inseparable? You cannot separate these two because both of these are dependent on each other, right? And nature has left deep imprints on human life, which is reflected in his food, reflected in clothing, shelter, occupation. So, on the other hand, man has adopted himself according to natural environment. But with the in due course of time, you can see that the modern technology has helped man in modifying the limits set by nature. Limits set by nature. No limit. Everywhere you cannot see that there is no obstacle or the hindrances are not there. You can see in most of the areas that the nature sets hindrances. In terms of the climate, right, there is the extremities as far as the climate is concerned. The climate is extreme, it's not conducive, right, either too hot or too cold. So, that is not conducive for everyone to live. So we can say that, and then the technology, with the help or with the development of technology, this is also been loosening the shackles of physical environment and has given him the comforts and leisures of life. So we can see in, or we can say in other words, that we find in the present day world that nature is humanized, right, with the development of technology. It is an in due course of time that we are humanizing our nature, right. Earlier or in the early days, that it was the nature which is dominated. Of course, it is still dominating, but not in common, but it is dominating to the few. It is dominating where, it is dominating to the tribal belts, to the tribes of different places, right, the tribes of different regions. So this is what geography tells about these things. Now I can tell you one very important thing about the geography, that geography has the different branches, as in my first video I have discussed with you. And then again I am telling you that geography is divided into two main branches, human and physical geography. So there are additional branches in geography such as regional, cartography and integrated one. Okay, so what have we discussed about? We have discussed just now, or I have just now discussed with you, that what is geography. Okay, the definition of geography by different geographers like Richard, Harshon, then Hettner, Hettner, and then Stamp and Eratosthenes. Who coined the word? Do you remember? Who at first coined the word geography? It was Eratosthenes, right? Now let us move to the another topic of this chapter, relation between man and nature. The relationship between the man and the nature has been established in the early periods itself. Okay. Now you can see here that human beings live in the kingdom of nature and interact with it constantly, because I told you that both of these, whether the human beings and the nature, cannot be studied separately. Why is it so? Because both of these are dependent on each other. Whether the nature and human beings are dependent on each other. The influence of nature in the form of air that he breathes, the water he drinks, the food he eats can be seen everywhere, isn't it? That all these are given by nature, and these are the free gift of nature. Okay, we also rely on them for numerous other goods and services we depend on for our health, happiness and prosperities, right? So nature connectedness is also known as the nature relatedness, right? Connectivity with nature. We are, since the beginning, that we are connected, right? We are connected with nature. We are connected and we are related with nature, the emotional affinity, and we have the emotional affinity towards our nature, towards our Mother Earth. But on the other hand, when we have started humanizing the nature, we can see one very, very important negative impact. The negative impact on nature, which is done by humans, like or we can say that on the other hand, humans impact the physical environment in many ways, like overpopulation, then pollution, burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and isn't it that, and due to which has triggered, and these have triggered what, these have triggered the changes, in bringing the climate change, right? So changes like these, what? Like burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, pollution, types of pollution, the different types of pollution, air, soil, water, right, noise, all these have triggered the climate change. Then you can see not only the climate change but soil erosion, Then poor quality of air. Day by day you can see that the quality of the air is getting deteriorated, and then there is a lack of potable water too. So when we have humanized the nature, we can say in one sentence that nature is not as pure as it was in the early days. Of course it is, to some extent it is, in those areas which are inaccessible by man. So we can say one very important thing, that we are, whether the nature and the humans, both of us, both of these are dependent on each other. Okay, so we have discussed about what is geography and how nature is related and connected with the man, and the human beings are related to nature, right? So that's all for today. Thank you.